Alright, people, so, we need to have a talk about kameha, banning, Vic Mignogna from the convention, this year, guys. Now, this video was actually inspired by, Alex from Unreal, Network's video that he did earlier today, so once again, shout out to Alex for inspiring my version of this topic video. So guys, as I'm sure most of you that will be watching this video know, kameha was actually the first convention to announce that Vic would not be attending it this year, and that was literally a few days before the first claims of him being of him sort of being too unfriendly with Monica came out. Now, guys, as I'm sure most of you know, kameha, it is loosely run by Funimation, and it is actually hosted by Geekdom 101, and and like I said a minute ago, they were the first convention to say that Vic would not be attending, even though he had already been confirmed for it before. Now, there was this YouTuber named Nick Latoya, I think I'm saying Nick's last name right, who was basically trying to support kameha and possibly having Vic be reinstated on the guest list, because supposedly that there has been pressure from certain outside sources for kameha to reinstate Vic as a guest. Now, guys, as far as that whole situation goes, yes, I do think that Vic should be reinstated at kameha, and my reason for that is the same reason why I said people should not boycott HawaiiCon, because they are letting Vic attend that convention as a guest voice actor. Now, the reason kameha should give Vic back his spot is that is the largest gathering of Dragon Ball fans in the country and possibly even the world right now. So, to not give Vic back his spot, regardless if you don't want to be around Vic or not, is again threatening his employment, because this is where he is going to get the most recognition and most likely the most support from the fans. Now, again, according to Nick's stream that I'm guessing he did late last night, supposedly certain people are indeed pressuring kameha to reinstate Vic as a voice actor guest. But once again, his former colleagues in Monica and surprisingly Chris Sabat are supposedly saying that they are going to walk and not attend that convention if Vic is reinstated as a guest. Now, in terms of Monica not attending that convention, Kameha this year, in terms of Monica's actual overall presence, as far as I'm concerned, Monica can fuck off and just go back to whatever little creepy Texas or wherever her home state is. She can just fuck off and go back there. But as far as Chris not attending the convention just because Vic would happen to be and still should be reinstated as a guest, I think would be almost absurd. Because guys, Chris, Monica, Chris, Sean, Sonny, and everybody else that is at Funimation that is going along with Monica's bullshit lies is doing it just so that their job is secure. But I think that if Kameha did the right thing, as many people should and supposedly are, demanding that they reinstate Mr. Mignogna as a guest. As far as I'm concerned, if Monica chose not to attend the convention, as far as I'm concerned, again, she's more than welcome to not be there. I personally, even though I am unfortunately unable to attend Kameha, would be more than happy not to see her fat ass there. And as far as Chris or anybody not attending Kameha either, just because they would be there, I think that once again they are putting up that facade just to protect their jobs. Now, I don't know about Sean Schimmel, the voice of Goku, because Sean has expressed his opinions on this situation on this Twitter very openly, and I think if Sean were given the right amount of money, I think he could still suck it up. But as far as Chris not attending Kameha just because Vic's there, I think that is the biggest piece of baloney that these people that are supposedly connected to Kameha are trying to feed us. Because guys, Chris is the new, or has been, the voice director for Dragon Ball Z for many years now, and his whole job as the main voice director is to look past any personal disapproval or disliking that he has of any voice actors when they are working in the recording booth at Funimation's recording studio, and when it comes to conventions. So Chris should be very used to shoving down his own personal feelings when it comes to seeing other voice actors that work at Funimation that he has a certain distaste for at the moment. The biggest example of this should come from no one other than Sean himself, because guys, if you remember correctly, before Resurrection F came out, Sean and Chris got into a little Twitter disagreement, but the point is that Chris was able to put those personal feelings aside from that little tiff that both he and Sean had, and be able to be very professional and work work out that altercation altercation with Sean, and they were both able to record their lines respectfully, peacefully, and most importantly, as this situation with Kameha bringing back Vic should be handled in a professional manner. So, as far as I'm concerned, Monica can just fuck off and stay home at from Kameha if she really could not stand the idea of Vic being there. And I actually do believe Nick's stream from last night in saying that probably certain people in the industry and just the fans overall do want Vic to be reinstated at Kameha, because guys, that is the one place, if last year's Kameha 1 is any indication, that is the one place where all of the English voice cast of Dragon Ball Z, and maybe even once again the Japanese cast of for some of the Japan voice actors, are all gathered in one place. So that would be Vic's ideal opportunity to finally try and make his piece known with some of his colleagues on Dragon Ball Super Broly. And again, I think that Sean, if given enough money and only having to see Vic at the panels, could suck it up. And again, Chris, being the AVR director of Dragon Ball Z for many years now, I think Chris has enough class and professionalism to be able to shove aside whatever personal feelings that he may have towards Vic, and be able to put those aside for the enjoyment of the fans, and do what's right for marketing purposes. Because guys, there's an old saying, but Mike is that always says, you want the best, you got the best. Well, even though that doesn't necessarily fully apply to this situation, if Kingdom 101 wants this convention to be just as successful as last year's, he and the rest of the runners of Kameha should do right by the fans and grant their biggest wish, and also do the right thing legally and not deny an innocent man the chance to replenish some of his income that he has been wrongfully taken out of because of some false bullshit lies. And I'll go one step more, guys, and say that Vic being turned away from all of these convention appearances, that is technically theft and breach of bonds and breach of contract, because once again there has been no physical proof suggesting that Vic committed any of these acts towards Monica or any of the supposed 30 victims that have supposedly fallen victim to his strange behavior. And I think the biggest factor that the Kingdom 101 and the rest of them runners of kameha should look at is Vic acknowledges that he has things to work on as a human being. He has acknowledged to some extent that he has acknowledged fully that yes, sometimes he has been a little too friendly with fans. But I keep going back to the same thing. There has been not one shred of evidence that has held up that Monica or any of her fellow Kickback movement members, not one single shred of evidence that thing that they've said rather has held up. Even members of this community, as I stated in a previous video about Vig's case, even members of the community have debunked Monica's bullshit fucking lies. And again, guys, kameha should do the right thing in reinstating Vic Mignogna because all these conventions that are turning Vic away or 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 not fulfilling the contract that they have signed, that they had already signed with them prior to any of this coming out. That is also technically breach of contract, people, and that is a federal offense. So Vic, if he chooses to, could personally go after every single convention that has cheated him out of not only the finances that he was promised through these appearances, but also the opportunity to connect with all the fans that are able to see through Monica's web of disillusion. And plus, guys, I have a feeling that even if kameha unfortunately chooses not to make the right decision, when over half the people see Monica Rial, I hope that even if Vic isn't there, I hope that when it's time for Monica to speak at each and every panel that she is a part of at kameha 2019 this year, I hope she will get booed off the stage so hard that it would personally make her feel all the stress, hurt, and anger that Vic is probably has been offering these past few months. But again, has he thrown up lies about Monica or anybody else at Funimation? No. In fact, multiple times he said he did not want to have to bring it to the legal system to decide. But I am truly grateful to all my fellow brothers and sisters, in the I Stand With Vic movement, guys, because we collectively, as a group, and just as fans of Vic in general, are proving that he being removed from all these conventions has no justification whatsoever. Again, show me a picture from this supposed September 2007 incident, which, by the way, did not happen because, again, somebody dug up both Vic's and Monica's convention appearance schedules from 2007, and not once again, not one single convention did they attend together, therefore making Monica's whole lawsuit frivolous, and therefore, once again, she should be terminated from Funimation immediately, and even if Big Troy cannot be reinstated, I think he should be entitled to every single shred of money that Funimation owes him for 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 the nearly 20 for the 20 plus years that he gave them. And as far as Rooster Teeth goes, they are a large enough company on their own that Vic probably could do without the 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 finances that he was promised from them. But I would encourage them as well to re-examine their facts as well. But again, guys, getting back to kameha to wrap up this video. I know Kingdom 101 has personal relationships with Monica, with Chris, with the higher ups at Funimation, but Danny, my boy, I'm begging you. Have you personally been presented any private evidence at all that proves that Vic really did commit these acts? And if you were not hosting this convention, would you not yourself, as a if you are as much of a lifelong fan as you claim to be, would you not demand for an innocent man to be reinstated and given all the money that he's been cheated out of because of somebody else's false accusations? Now, guys, I do not want anybody attacking Gidum or even Monica, Chris, or Sean, because that's not what I, at least, am trying to do in these videos. I am just trying to give Vic that extra bit of support in saying that I think that if kameha really does want to be that ultimate Dragon Ball experience that last year was, then do something just like Goku would do, Danny, Funimation, and all the other runners of kameha. If you are truly representing a convention that's supposed to be about Goku and the franchise that we all truly do love so much, then do the one thing that Goku always stands for, in my opinion, and that is, as long as somebody has expressed sorrow and regret for any questionable things that they've done in the past, do what Goku did with Frieza. Give Vic the chance to prove that he didn't do this in your eyes, and let him speak to the millions of fans that he reached through performing in Dragon Ball Super Broly. And most of all, guys, if you truly do want kameha to be a positive experience, then truly do the right thing and put all this negativity bullshit behind and cast out Monica and bring back Vic. Or even if Monica still has to be there, have Monica say her piece and then she can walk her fat ass back up to her hotel room and everybody can have a real moving experience with Vic. So again, everybody, I am not condoning any type of harassment towards Miss Rial, Vic, or any of the members at Funimation. I am just employing Funimation Kamehacon if you truly want Kamehacon 2 to truly be a special experience, then do what is right by the contract that you signed, and do the right thing and reinstate Vic Mignogna.